Well, good afternoon. I'm here with Scott Kotler, who is our featured attorney. Scott, tell us a little bit about yourself and your practice.
Okay. Again, my name is Scott Kotler, and I have a criminal defense practice here in Coral Gables in Miami. I came down after law school and started as a prosecutor under Janet Reno, the state attorney's office in Dade County. That was 1987. Left in 1991 after fulfilling my commitment, and basically got into criminal defense at that point, and I've been doing criminal defense since 1991.
And what areas of criminal defense do you primarily practice in?
I would say a majority of my cases are in state court. They can encompass anything from a DUI defense to a drug trafficking or even a murder defense. Pretty much anything that will get you in trouble. I also represent people in investigations when law enforcement is coming to them and questioning them. So I represent people at all stages of the criminal defense phase.
And it's my understanding that you've on occasion represented professionals who've had difficulty or questions regarding their practice, doctors and lawyers.
I have. In every area of criminal law, people get in trouble. It's unfortunate. Some of them are doctors, lawyers, dentists, just like they are construction workers or plumbers or anybody else. And I have had professionals that I've represented. I've had athletes. I was fortunate enough to be able to represent Dale Davis, a Detroit Pistons NBA player that got arrested down here on South Beach. And we tried his case in front of Judge Newman, and he was acquitted of all charges. And so I have a pretty broad spectrum of clientele.
How often do you find that you have to go to trial on behalf of the accused?
You know, the Dade County courthouse, especially the criminal courthouse, is quite busy. If I had to take a stab at it, I would say less than 10, maybe even less than 7% of cases that run through the system actually go to trial. But I do find myself in trial on cases where we cannot reach an agreement, where the client professes their innocence and refuses to take a plea, and the state will not back down, so you try those cases.
Do you find that your experience having been a prosecutor is helpful for you in the defense of the accused?
Absolutely. One of the things that I found is working for the government for the time that I did, and the trial experience that I got at the state attorney's office enables me to know how the system works, to know how the state attorney's office operates, and I find it a real benefit in being able to defend people and represent them.
Do you take cases both in state and federal court?
I do. I'm also admitted into the Southern District of Florida. I will take federal cases, so I can and do practice in both arenas.
Now, I understand you've been a member of the Attorney Breakfast Club for several years.
I have.
How's that experience been for you in your practice?
It's been fabulous. I found myself being a dinosaur. I had a successful practice for many years, and what happened about 2 years ago with the turn in the economy, I thought that my practice would actually pick up more people getting in trouble, and actually what I found was the opposite. People just didn't have money. They weren't hiring private attorneys. They were using the public defender's office, and my practice slowed considerably. And I had to sit down and really evaluate my situation and figure out how I was going to recreate myself. And I realized the best way to do that was to get out and to start, mingling with other lawyers and expanding my base of referrals. You and I have known each other for decades, having met you back in law school. I watched your career grow and blossom, and we crossed paths again, and you had suggested to me, come check out ABC. And I'd asked you what ABC was all about, and you explained to me the way you and your lovely wife, Dina, set up ABC originally as a way of getting you out to meet with other lawyers as a source of referrals. But what you found was you had a very large base of people who were interested in coming to perhaps a free breakfast, but not really getting involved. And I think you wisely took that and whittled it down to something that is very elite, is very comfortable, and is very substantial at the same time. Basically, you set up ABC in a way where there is one lawyer for each area of the law. And for a small yearly fee, which I think is necessary because it weeds out the people that really aren't interested, we have a group of lawyers in Dade County now that meet every month for breakfast on a Friday morning, bright and early, so it doesn't interfere with too many people's schedule. And in addition to meeting with that group of lawyers in each area of the law, you've done a phenomenal job. ABC has done a phenomenal job. Dina has done a phenomenal job in bringing together with us some very good speakers. Every month you'll have a guest speaker, and the function, the purpose of that guest speaker is to pick something that can help the practitioner in the practice of law via marketing, via finance, all the things that many times we as lawyers don't think about, we're not good at. And so we get this education in that area monthly, in addition to meeting and seeing the other lawyers in the group. And so on your advice, I got involved with ABC, and it's absolutely been wonderful.
And if somebody's at home watching this video and they're thinking about coming to an ABC meeting, what would you say to them?
I would say absolutely. You have nothing to lose. Come, take a look, see who we are, what we're about. Even for lawyers who may practice a certain area and that area is already filled, there's always room to work other lawyers into the group. And you've also, ABC has gone ahead and started to branch out. So now there's a Broward County chapter where we're starting to fill seats. And a lot of times you've got overlap. You have lawyers that practice both in Dade and Broward, so maybe the Dade County spot is filled, but the Broward is open. And we work very closely with those lawyers. In fact, my brother David, who's up in Boca, is taking the seat in Broward for the criminal defense. So I encourage people to come out and take a look at it. But the real key to ABC is not just showing up to a meeting once a month, listening to the speaker, saying hi to the people around you. It's getting to know those people. And that's one of the ways that it has increased my practice, I would say, by at least 25 or 30% in the last 2 years. Because now those groups of lawyers, okay, I know on a first name basis, I try to make a point to speak to each and every one of them at least once or so every couple of weeks, so that the areas of law that they practice on is in the front of my mind.
Right.
And I'm not just looking for criminal cases, I'm keeping my eyes open for a construction law case or an immigration case, so that I'm actually working for those other lawyers. Those other lawyers are working for me. And if everybody in the group does that, which in Dade County, it looks like everybody is, this is really turning into something successful.
Well, it's wonderful to have you as a member. Congratulations for being our featured attorney, and we look forward to having you continue your participation with ABC.
I'm looking forward to it too. And one thing I might add, involving myself with ABC has opened another door, which, while not a source of referrals, has enriched my life significantly. And that is my involvement with your group, your nonprofit, Lawyers to the Rescue. And that basically has opened the door to assisting people in need. And Lawyers to the Rescue goes out and does fundraisers for people in need, such as the tsunami victims, earthquake victims. We run a monthly clinic down at the Camillus House where we help homeless with legal issues. We encourage lawyers to come out who are not part of ABC necessarily, and who may not even be a member of Lawyers to the Rescue yet, to come out, see what we do, join us. It's a great way for us to be able to give back to the community. So with ABC, I'm enriching myself financially. With Lawyers to the Rescue, which is a separate and distinct nonprofit from ABC, and your involvement with that and Dina's, I'm able to enrich myself in a non-monetary way, and I thank you for that opportunity.
Well, and thank you, Scott. You refer to it as our organization. Lawyers to the Rescue is as much ours as it's yours, and we appreciate all the contributions that you've made to make that what it is.
My pleasure.
So thank you, Scott Kotler.
You're welcome.